All right, folks. So thank you for joining me again, once again, right here on the Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel. Your outpost on the West Coast, out here in sunny Southern California. Uh, so we're gonna do an interesting video. This is just before we shoot the video I had mentioned previously about the Teddy Roosevelt and the Great White Fleet and how it's tied into the city of Long Beach. Today we're going to be doing a video requested an update on the construction, the huge construction project that's been taking place here for a couple years now in downtown Long Beach, literally in downtown Long Beach. And here's an artist rendition of what we're going to go explore today. I can give you guys a quick update, especially the viewer who requested this update. So pretty much everything that's colored here is new construction. It's either under construction, which is what we've been filming. This tower here has yet to be built, supposed to be built towards the end of 2026. All these buildings that are painted or colored in the color white is existing construction, so you can just highlight under colored portions, which is what the subject of today's video is about. So we're going to be doing a lot of our filming from this location here. Can you guys see that on the screen? From this location here, and we'll go out there. Remember these arches here, these arches in the building. I'll point them out when we're down here filming. Just I like to do that. You guys have a point of reference, a milepost, geological milepost from which to kind of gauge what we're looking at. We'll be shooting in direction south. Most of you guys who've been watching those construction updates will recognize the parking structure, which is not recognizable here. But this is that parking structure we've been filming the last couple of years, where they did all sorts of heavy duty construction. Our tower crane popped out here, and our second tower crane, which is, both of them are gone now, by the way, was about right here. All the machinery, all the heavy duty machinery, which is why I shoot videos, is gone and has been gone for quite some time. And the construction process, to me, but not to others, to me it's somewhat boring. I'm really into machinery, and actually I'm literally into how machinery works, the actual mechanisms, the gears, that type of stuff. But we'll go out there. So these units here are planned for occupancy in phases starting in May of 2026, going through October, and somewhere around October, I think the plan is to build this tower here, which originally was going to be 40 stories tall, which would have been massive. But due to funding and restrictions and stuff, they kind of agreed just 21 stories, I believe, is the last count, instead of 40. This whole project was gonna be it was gonna be 700, almost 800 units. Due to funding and other issues, they cut back to about 600. The parking structure itself, which was massive, is going to be, and I think it's 9 levels. It's gonna hold 1,500 automobiles for the residents of these residences here. Each unit's going to average about 700 square footage. Prices are not mentioned. They come in 1, 2, and 3 bedroom versions. We'll be shooting, like I said, from right here facing south. Remember these arches. We'll work our way around the building. This is still vacant, I believe. It's all grassy, but we're going to walk around, and we've done this before. We're going to walk around this curve here, come around to the backside, come along Ocean Boulevard, cut through the Trade Center, the little plaza they got there, and we'll shoot from the rooftop right there, which we have filmed from before, give you a view of the backside. Then we'll wrap it up. We'll walk around back to our parking structure where I filmed from, and you guys will recognize it's usually right here. And we'll film our familiar parking structure we've been shooting for the last 2 years. And I've got some data here I'll share with you guys. Now, before we hit, you know what? We got a better artist rendition. Now, in this one here, this is the older picture. This is what it looks like, or what it looked like when it was still a big vacant parking lot. You can see the massive asphalt covered parking lot, which served the trade center, the post office, the hotel, the event center, federal building, court building, etc., etc. Well, all that's gone now, replaced by housing. The actual footprint of that asphalt parking lot is totally going to be covered by new construction of housing units. So, and you can see the World Trade Center back here, which would be this building here. You can see, I think it's the Hilton Hotel, which is right here. The event center, which would be here. George Duke Majan Court building would be here, and that would be this white building here. And the parking structure where I filmed from is right there. So hopefully, let's back off a little so you can get a gauge and a feel of the land of what it once appeared as, and what it's going to be. So we talk about City of Long Beach, its history and stuff like that. Well, those are chapters from the history of the city of Long Beach. As we move forward into more modern times, as the years come by and more new people populate the planet and stuff like that, and the city of Long Beach itself, well, these are new chapters that are going to be written by you guys, hopefully. And one day you guys will be filming it and sharing your history with even more future residents of the city of Long Beach. So before we get to our site here, let's go ahead and it's very pretty outside right now. We're going to take our normal daily walk, shoot a couple little quick picturesque sites, and come back and shoot from this location. And that's where I'll probably read off some of the data I have here. And remember those arches in that building, because we'll go ahead and show you what they look like right now, and you'll get a gauge of the land, and we'll use those as our milepost, so to speak. So let's go for a little walk. We'll be right back. Let me set all this up. All right, so I turned the camera on as we take our nice, pretty, block the microphone, picturesque walk. About all these rains. You saw it rain like crazy when I was up in Cajon Pass, but it's rained pretty much for a few days. What happens after the rain, especially down here in the LA area and stuff, is it cleans up all that smog, all that gunk, all the pollutants in the air. The sky gets crystal blue, pure blue color. The streets get washed. Everything just looks pretty. The air smells good. That's a nice shot right there.
Very quiet and like anxious. So if I'm alone, I have my car.
That's a nice shot right there. Anyways, we'll be right back. So right here we're on the northwest corner of Broadway and Magnolia, where the big brand new George Deukmejian courthouse is, and where we're heading, the new housing projects, the project is right there. It's about 300 feet down the road, and we're heading over there right now. This kind of gives you a lay of the land, of more or less gives you an idea if you drive through here every day what we're talking about, and we're gonna head right over there. Be right back. And right away straight ahead where I'm pointing the camera to, you can see our parking structure, which we have become very familiar and friendly with the last couple of years. And you can kind of see how basically there's no change. Look at that beautiful shot. That is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot. So remember, I asked you guys as a point of reference, kind of like a guidepost, milepost, to remember those arches, and those arches are right there. So we're gonna come over here and park in that little intersection like we talked about. We'll read some data on this building, but you're kind of starting to get the idea of the massiveness of this project. Now all the machinery, all the large construction equipment, heavy equipment is gone. So my interest has kind of died on this project here. But it's still interesting nonetheless. Pretty much the drywall guys are inside putting drywalls on the walls, the frames. In this case, I think they use metal frames, some wood. They've stuccoed the outside of the building. They're shooting the plaster. They're probably going to start painting next. So week after week after week after week, the view and the skyline of the project does not change. It kind of just looks the same. They cover everything in this black, kind of like canvas, to keep particles, I guess, from coming out into the street and stuff. Probably some sort of state or OSHA regulations. The high-rise tower is gonna, where we're going right now, is supposed to be up there. Here's our little intersection I talked about, where we're gonna kind of make ourselves at home right here. All right, let me set this up. Right there you can see what the name of the project is. Alexan Long Beach. I've got two experts in the field that have helped out my YouTube channel tremendously along throughout the years. One is Jake Klein and the other one is Mark. Bickelhaupt, if I said that correctly. And they could probably tell you what we're looking at, what phase, what all is next and stuff. And this YouTube channel would not exist if it wasn't for those two gentlemen. All right, so in terms of a little bit of data here for you, the project is called the Alexan West End Long Beach. It's a 600 unit residential project. Construction crews for the Alexan West End have laid the foundation, and its platforms base actually last December have begun building now towards the sky. Wood framing has begun to appear on each structure, moving progress forward on the largest residential development under construction in the city of Long Beach. They're also working on the project's easternmost podium buildings, also called 5/1 buildings, where cement foundations serve as the base for wooden frames above it. A popular design choice for low-rise, fairly low-density apartment complexes, or type of residential complexes. Meanwhile, the proposed 30-story tower is in a state of flux with future funding, where future funding is needed. That proposed tower, which we're going to go over there and check out the footprint where that would have gone, that was supposed to be a 40-story tower. Due to funding and other issues, they negotiated where they reduced down. I have seen numbers of down to 18 stories. I've seen 21 stories, and according to this, now 30 stories. So it is in a state of flux. Probably got to do a lot with money and funding and stuff like that. The large parking structure that we've been filming the last couple of years, where we're going to end this video, that's going to hold 1,500 vehicles for all the residents here in this giant complex. That's an enormous amount of vehicles. The owners of this building project scored $200 million in capital funding. Probably need a little bit more to finish it off. They broke ground. Occupancy is going to be in phases. The first phase is supposed to occur in May of this year, 2026. And I think the schedule for building the tower was supposed to be October of 2026. Let me see. Yeah, it talks about the funding issues for more. That tower was supposed to be 40 foot, and they had to negotiate and lower it much less. We're talking originally, the complex was supposed to hold 756 actual individual housing units. They negotiated that down to now 600. Each housing unit is going to average about just slightly under 700 square feet per unit. They're going to come in 1, 2, and 3 bedroom versions. Let me see here. The parking structure is a 9-story ginormous parking structure, and we all know, we saw the filming for that. We saw how they pile drived and drove giant steel beams into the ground to support the massive weight of that structure, especially here right next to the coast, right next to the ocean. Ocean is just right there. And we're going to be doing some videos. We're going to be switching our theme here in the next few weeks to a more nautical theme for probably the next 4 or 5 videos for those of you nautical fans. Let me see. The parking structure, a 9-story parking structure, is going to hold 1,500 vehicles. It's going to be considered the largest parking structure in the entire city of Long Beach. This thing thinks 767 average square feet per unit. Initial occupancy will be in May 2026. It'll be done in phases. And that's about it for right now. So let's go ahead and I'll show you where the giant proposed was supposed to be 40 foot. Got it down to 18. Looks like it's kind of back up to 21-story tower is supposed to go. Once they get the funding in place, we'll get another shot from the south side of the project facing north, and then we'll end up over here at our favorite location, what you guys will recognize, and that will be the parking structure where we shot their parking structure as it was being built and under construction. We'll be right back. That's the exit of the 710 South, Long Beach Freeway South, as this is the Broadway exit as it dumps its traffic onto the street of Broadway. So here we are on the most west end of the project, right up next to the off-ramp from the freeway. There's no more else to go, but our tower, our proposed tower, is supposed to go right up there. Now it's decision time. Big giant sign clearly says do not enter, but hopefully we won't get squashed by any exiting vehicles from the freeway. You all ready? One more. Did I mention what a beautiful day it is today? Now, here's an interesting story for what it's worth. When I first got assigned down here to downtown city of Long Beach, there used to be a guy that would take his lunch break. Probably he was in his mid to late 40s, early 50s. He used to walk all the way into the center of this little freeway off-ramp system they got here. And he would play his trumpet. He'd play his trumpet on his lunch break. I guess he took advantage of the echoes, the solitude, and the beauty of this area. I don't know if any of you YouTube viewers remember that guy, but there used to be a guy that used to literally stand right there. And here's the other thing. He wasn't playing a trumpet, guys. He was actually playing a cornet. A cornet is a fancier, older version of a trumpet. It's a beautiful instrument. They sound the same. I've played both in my lifetime. But he used to stand out there and do his Chuck Mangione, and just you couldn't stop to admire him because there's no parking here. This is actually like freeway off ramps and on ramps. But I would drive by and just look at him and say, wow, look at him now. Now look at me. Look what I'm doing. Everywhere I go, I stop and I play my guitar. You ever see me walking down the streets in Long Beach? Mexican dude with long hair and a ponytail and a yellow vest and a camera, or with a guitar, it's strapped to my back. Say hi, introduce yourself. So our tower, our proposed tower, will be going up right there. The parking structure where I did all my filming is right there. This was our parking structure. However, they have built housing on the outside around it, encasing the parking structure in the center of this housing, massive housing building. We're going up there and shoot you guys some better videos. Give me about a minute to get up there and set up. All right, so the parking structure where I did a lot of filming is kind of like over there in that gap. You can see that white van. I kind of stood right there, only one level lower. Our parking structure, you can see a little tail end of it right here. Well, let's go over there and show you guys. Starting to look familiar. They look familiar now. So there we go, guys. That's just what it looks like. Pretty much parking structure. Those are employee vehicles, by the way. They're still doing a lot of the infrastructure or the innards of the parking structure itself, even though the outside, the main part of the building is done. They're installing fire sprinklers, drainage pipes, electrical. It's gonna have elevators, all that good stuff. But the Long Beach, the Governor Duke Majan big courthouse is there in the background. It's new housing. This is This is a parking structure where I did a lot of my filming right there, all along here. Whatever caught my eye. And my vehicle is kind of parked like in this kind of area, sort of. Well, no need to cross and film from the parking structure. I think this is a great spot here to end our video. Thank you for joining me once again right here on the Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel, your outpost on the West Coast. I want to thank everybody who's always helped me along with these videos. Jay Klein, Mark Hackelbach. I hope I said your name right. And I also want to thank the YouTube viewer who requested this video, Grouchy Gavel. Thank you for requesting, and of course anybody else, if I can accommodate you, just go ahead and please ask. You guys have an amazing rest of your week. You guys, most importantly, have a blessed rest of your week with your loved ones, your family, your co-workers, your dear friends and stuff, your spouse, your kids, your parents if they're still around, or parent in my case. And we're going to be doing a lot of nautical themed videos. The next 4 or 5 videos are going to be nautical themed. We're going to start off, like I said, the next video we're going to do with Teddy Roosevelt and his Great White Fleet. When they came to Long Beach, they unknowingly and unwittingly, according from what I've been reading, left a big chunk of themselves, and they didn't want to, but it's here. And we're going to shoot a video that we're going to go over there and shoot that video for you guys. You all take care. Let's talk to you later. Bye.